For my people, yeah, for my people, yeah, for my people, yeah, for my people. For the white man, 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 for the white man. Painted by the Spanish, did a whole lot of damage. Shit was outlandish, base got branded. Split up all the family, then shipped across the Atlantic. So many died from the famine. Threw the dead bodies over 4 sharks, ate them like salmon. I know you can't stand it. I speak the truth, goddammit. Big business got managed, dig it double back. Came to pick up all the blacks. We'll speed up our back, we never got to relax. Pretend to set us free, but then you double back without a crack. The type of game that you play, ain't keep it real, I ain't going for it. Beat a couple court cases, had a warrant for it. Told my mama if I ever did time, I'ma raise up the whole yard. Had my lawyer like, oh Lord, district attorney added more charges. No problem, ain't tripping. Throw me through the scriptures. My highness said the Lord with your war, that's a small issue. Bounce back out the rebound. UPK got the heat now. They done let me off the leash now, teaching in the streets now. Part of Lost Tribe South, but it started in the East now. Look, this for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. This for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. For the white man, 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 for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. This for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. For the white man, 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 for the white man,
It's rolling, how is it? Purchase your tracks today.
No, the people been waiting for a minute for something authentic. Came in the truth and bossed in it. Made niggas recruit. Had to shed light on the force. Test 1, 2. 2, 2, 2. 2. All that was to be a gangster. All that was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession of soul. Man, what is the this thing tripping? We about to bombard their whole operation. Certified priests, prophesying this my occupation. This shit outrageous. They done made the truth docile. That's why we on the corner crying aloud, looking hostile. This I.S.U.P.K style. Can't stop now. Far this warfare couldn't last one round. Let the oppressed rise, and let the rich mourn till the sundown. Enough with this shit, about to make it hot, cold and compelled. This for my niggas, put the guns in the drugs there. Dwelling in peace till the Lord call for the blood. Hey, try to decide my death, ain't got beside yourself. Sworn drawn for what you perform, how you gon' hide yourself? Devil got to die for his lies and the dreams. Ain't got no love for the practice, no, just cruel intentions. And then my father's house is spending mansions. I got plenty bitches, what being features. This your death sentence. I'm talking about slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter. That they you gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils let me get this deal. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah. Now we shook from vicious words out this handbook. About to take these rappers back to school. My flow standing hook. They crossed the line, ain't no coming back. You became no cowards. The only thing sweet is the honey check. Righteous is the Lord. Give me rest from my sorrow. And hang down death for them devils. There's no tomorrow. Believe it, the white man is a demon. And I ain't gonna vote for them to free me. They did it to me. They call the purple the spiders. Let this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. I'm laying in the bosom of what you mean. I'm talking to you. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah. And down for your skin, you gon' die for your crime. So warn for your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta end.
Just shot him for no apparent reason. No reason at all. They asked for license and registration with the black on. I can't really do shit because they got me picked. I can't believe they just did this. I'm fucking
That they do not represent and fill the world with lies. And down for your skin, you gon' die for your crime. That's why I'm talking to you. So warn for your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils let the end is still. Slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah.
To be robbing and killing in the ghetto, living in filth and squalor. This don't have to be our life. This life is given to us by the low-life niggas you call black Indians.
I eat the steak, she can eat great, red like an 8, don't need no weight. GPK bitch at the bar, hey, get a bitch wetter than the lake, hey, open my eye, catch a case, I'll make a bitch nigga face, hey, and what's the only way, hey, all eyes on GPK, hey, take down, hey, fuck what they say, no we don't play, jump with my spray, hit him with the blade, let a nigga on the fucking page, since I raised, hey, you know go drop like this, like fuck that bitch, hot like this, like you ain't hit the fucking block like this, like but a little can't stop this shit, those ain't no bitch up in sight, all my niggas prepare to die, World War III, word on fire.
Fucking U.P.K, 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 warfare every motherfucking day. U.P.K, 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 one West motherfucking U.P.K, 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 warfare every motherfucking day. I'm gonna put this shit up on my block, man. It's like me, but I get my on the back end. Better hope that I don't get ordered from captains. If they crown, bitch, I'm ready for action. You already know what I gotta say. If you ain't, you can't put you in the goddamn way. I was born in a letter field, in a battlefield. I'll be ready for this war shit. And it's World War III. Would you hurry up, please? So I can put my enemies on their knees. I can make them beg me, but no mercy for me. Don't get love to the birds and the bees and the trees. You don't know what the fuck do you mean? The only way we can have peace is to hear you scream. I'm freezing the fucking of the king. The stories of the book, and the black god at the time I did this sweet dream. I think I was shot, what she got. The king of our king, ruler of all things. Failures will be free. The struggle of Babylon, destroying everything. The tools and means on a whole nother level. You ain't ever seen when you became king. 144, you know what I mean. One flesh, nigga.
With the Bible, the key to else. And then the key is
First breath I took a life too surreal. Second breath I took was the pivot and strike feel. I only live to do my master's will. I.S.U.P.K, motherfucker. Ain't no cowards on this battlefield. Gone astray but made greater. In my return, left in my mistakes. Every error was a lesson learned. Now I don't move, let's see get approved. Won't take a step till it gon' make the ground shake. My people sick in their head, Lord, let this truth spread like an outbreak. Bring hell and the crackers can't escape. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I'm on payback for the scars in the slave. Christ arrived, I can't let it slide. Ignore the lies. The only free will that's before your eyes is life or death, nigga, you decide. This heaven was made for me and my fellow. I patiently wait with my eyes on the sparrow, and I pull the trigger while my lips kiss the barrel. Before I ever let a white bitch do me like Othello. I want out this wicked life like Rebello. By any means, this devil pulling strings like Geppetto. Lay hold on this brotherhood, I swear I never let go. And fuck that silver spoon, got too much love for the ghetto. Said the score settle with EB, I die for the cause. Just to hear them angels applaud. And I'm true about every word I say. Cause I know my victory on the way. You want it? Nigga, walk this way. This life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my knees go hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so good? Cause it's real, I be walking with the angels. Boy, I like may be hard, but I can't give up. On my knees go hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so good? Cause it's real, I be walking with the angels. Boy, I can't be touched. Came through in the clutch. They hate but they can't doubt us. We princes of the power, what you know about us? Evil all around us, but a nigga straight. I told you I can't be touched. Only angels walk at my place. And I'm grateful for the words that had me delivered. I'm hungry for the glory, but I ain't eating till I feed my next. One West, what I die for. Attire out the book of numbers, this rifle from the Archangel Michael. My niggas rebels, you can't deny them. It's 144. I be running to and fro with the Allah higher. My I.S.U.P.K soldiers ain't no folding, no pretending. We in it for the crowns, fuck friends, we want dominion. In the election section, I hope I make it through. Give a damn what a bitch think, as long as my niggas know I'm true. Betray your kind to get success. You make it do the eye of the steedle nigga. I be his life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga go hard, and I won't give up. And could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so good? Cause it's real, I be walking with the angels. Boy, I like it may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga go hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so good? Cause it's real, I be walking with the angels. Boy, I
all my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me. cartridge on the Sega. You niggas want attention, they don't want the war though. Talking all that shit, but you got a glass jaw, ho. They never deliver, they got that DiGiorno. This that Walking Dead flow, I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man once you off the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone, you ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your car. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. Cause you ain't got the heart, nigga, you ain't got the heart. You ain't about to finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga, play your part. Claiming that you spark when you ain't got the heart. Cause you niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you go and bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you go and bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. All my niggas ride for me. All my niggas ride with me. I got niggas that'll die for me. All my niggas ride with me. You niggas ain't.
West till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring a whole lot of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Getting dividends, so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but the abdominals. I'm cool, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to the pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like a Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we go check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit's gotten retarded since. All the dominance, one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers. But I ride like I got roof lines for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 7 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Apollos, let me send me holler. A showstopper, been the promise since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going off Patron, premium, a vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. It's more heavy, more ready, and it's working, mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when the heat's on, none of them can get through the fire around with me. And I had a nigga spin like a tire, had a beat, and I'm still throwing some piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Filled with night, I'm winning, coming through with the title because U.P.K. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding GEN.YAHANNA.
That's right.
Since 1969, we've been teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians our true identity according to the Bible, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, or the Lord's chosen people. And of course, that our oppressor, the same man that invaded these lands back in 1492, you understand, the same one that forced back in 1492, you understand, the same one that forced the Gadites, so-called Native Indians, into the reservations, the same ones that stole the so-called Negroes or African Americans from the west coast of Africa and invaded South America. You understand, these same rabid beasts that did all this is nothing more than the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right. Right.
And tonight is the Tuesday Brotherhood class. So we're going to be teaching our brothers and sisters all throughout the land how important it is to, have some type of brotherhood, some type of loyalty to your people in order for us to come up out of this hell that we've been living in for so long. Because for so long, us as a nation, we have truly been hating against our brothers and our sisters.
Right.
I'm saying, and it doesn't matter if it's a Gadite hating on, or it's like a native hating on African American or Hispanic. You understand? Because even back then, we were hating on one another, all because our oppressor all of a sudden stepped into the mix, and next thing you know, we got to take these people's lives. They can't be stepping to these devils like that. But let me get book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. You got a Bible, Kumar?
Oh, kind of water.
Give me 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20.
Kind of water.
You might want to wait for you gonna get there, or you want me to go ahead?
No, you got it.
Okay, come.
Book of 1 John. Book of 1 John, verse 20. Chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother.
So just like the so-called Native Indians have been saying since we came over here to these lands, we always claim to love this mighty spirit out here that created all life and basically governs everything in our world. We always claim to have that type of love for him, but yet at the same time, we would still be sitting there raging wars against our brothers.
Right.
We're saying over nothing, taking the lives of our brothers over a little piece of land, knowing damn well that that's something that we collectively own together. That's something that the Lord gave to us as a nation. Because I mean, shoot, we're all one people. So that's what we like to say out in the world, right? Whenever we want to talk about separation from the white man and from these other heathen nations, oh well, we all bleed red. We both got 2 arms and 2 legs. It don't matter about the outside. It's about what's on the inside.
Right.
But yet we didn't have that mindset when it came to our brothers. You understand? Go ahead.
Come.
You good?
Let's take it from the top. 420.
If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother.
Saying, sorry to cut you off. I just started this part. You understand? And that is just so heavy because so many Native Indians, Hispanics, and so-called African Americans, our people have always been, you could say spiritual. We've always been, people that believes in this higher power and its influence on our lives. You understand? And with that influence that power has had, I mean, we just felt that connection to him. We've always felt like, shoot, that we love God, that we got this type of love for him. But go ahead.
Come. And hated his brother.
Saying, but even with that higher connection that we got with the Most High God, because no other nation out here has that type of connection.
Right.
Even with that, we still hated our brothers, hated our sisters. And it didn't matter if we've been dwelling in a land with them for hundreds of years. It didn't matter if they arrived on a boat from the West Africa. You understand? I mean, some of us, we of course welcomed our brothers in because we had some sense of brotherhood about us. We knew what was happening to them was wrong, that it should not continue to happen, and therefore we took action. But at the same time, just like nowadays, when we got natives inside the reservations talking about African Americans, talking about the Hispanics, saying, "Oh, well, we ain't the same people. I don't care about the oppression that they're going through." And saying the same thing was happening back then. Even though we got this type of connection with this mighty spirit with the Most High God of Israel. Go ahead.
He is a liar.
He what?
He is a liar.
Nah, I'm Christian. I talked to the Lord personally.
He is a liar.
I practice the traditional customs of my ancestors, and we have this almighty connection with the the mighty spirit.
He is a liar.
You understand all
God
of that?
knows my heart.
Huh?
God knows my heart.
You're right. God knows my heart.
He is a liar.
Right.
You understand all of that foolishness that we just sit there and spew out of our mouths. I mean, shoot, the Lord just said you're a liar.
Yeah, I'm right.
All that love you sit there and claim to have for the Lord, not even knowing that there's a higher power out there that exists, but yet you hate your brother and saying, shoot, the Lord says you're a liar. Go ahead.
And if I could,
Give him the mic.
and if I could, like a lot of that stems from becoming Christian.
Go on.
You know what I'm saying? Like our Gadite brothers don't even realize, like you went out there firsthand, and like you said, it was so many goddamn Christian churches. Everything else is tore up and desolate.
Go
But
on.
them Christian churches are strong out there.
Right.
And I wonder why that is. You understand? Whether it's the ghettos, the barrios, or the reservations, let me tell you something. That Christian church is standing strong and firm.
Right.
And here's the thing. Why is these ghettos and reservations and barrios so goddamn destroyed when there's a Christian church? Because God loves everybody, right?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be all about the work of the Lord. Then why the hell is the goddamn reservations and the barrios and the ghettos still destroyed? Which goes to show you that Christianity is white supremacy. And
Right.
white supremacy is all about hating blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and teaching them to hate each other.
Right. Right. Heavy point on the one. Heavy point. You understand? The churches was in better standings than their primary fucking supermarkets. You
Right.
understand? Where they had to get necessities in order to survive. Go ahead.
Crazy.
All right. Go ahead.
God. But he that loveth not his brother whom he has seen.
You understand? So that same black, Hispanic, Native Indian man that lives next door to you, that you see walking on the streets every day, just as destroyed as you are, saying not giving a damn about what happens to him. You're saying that all the murders and kidnappings that we see, not batting an eye, are people. These things that we can physically see, that we know that are going on around us. Go ahead.
How can he love God
Go ahead.
whom he has not seen?
So, I mean, shoot, it's simple as that. How can you sit there and claim to love the Most High God? It's saying something that you have never, ever, ever seen a day in your life. No matter how much you want to believe it, you've never talked to him. You never had no spirit come to you and give you some type of guidance. None of that.
Right.
But yet, your brother's struggling alongside you. You just sit there and simply look down on them. Look at them like they're some kind of dog. And that is a byproduct of Christianity. You understand?
Damn right.
And it don't matter if you follow a traditional way of life out in goddamn Honduras, Guatemala, the reservations in America, the reservations up in Canada. It doesn't matter what it is that you claim to follow that our ancestors did, because they still practice some form of Christianity. And a great way to understand that is to simply look at how it is that we treated our brothers when it came to the white man. You understand?
Right.
Entire genocides happened all so we could sit there and please the white man.
Right.
But yet we were all supposed to be one, right?
If a man one.
Go ahead.
Most of them genocides happen because our own people, our own brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From
Right.
our black leaders. You know what I'm saying? From our Native Indian leaders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how most of them genocides happen.
Right. Oh yeah, we're gonna be getting into it today. Let me get Matthew chapter 5 and verse 22. He's saying us as a nation got to realize that it makes no goddamn sense to sit there and not only claim to love a higher power or to hate your brother, but it makes no sense to sit there and love the same people that have gone out of their way time and time again in order to make sure that they murder you, enslave you, you understand, steal from you, lie to you, just oppress you in any type of way. You understand? That is a complete Christian mindset. Go ahead.
That's why we can't build a nation right now. You know what I'm saying? Only I.S.U.P.K is building a nation.
Right.
Because we don't love it ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We want to love our oppressors. We want to join hand in pressure with the oppressors. You know what I'm saying?
So why else is it that we can't come forward? Officer,
because we're not following these laws, statutes, commandments out of line.
Damn right.
And if I could,
let me get that mic.
And if I could, I'd like to pull one before you get to your scripture. What Kumapar just said. Pull John 12 and 25.
Come.
You understand? Because what you're saying is a heavy point. You understand? Like you loving yourself more than anything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, that be the Christian. Listen, that is such a Christian thing to do.
Right.
To hold on to cherish your life above everybody else's, like you something goddamn special.
Right.
Like you just something special. Like you just I'm not willing to sacrifice X, Y, and Z. I'm comfortable. That's a Christian. Christianity is all about comfortability. Right. That's why they're not sacrificing. That's why they're not going through the fire. Let me know when you got that. Let's get it.
John, chapter 12, verse 25.
Go ahead.
That loveth his life.
Let me tell you something. Like you said, all these people that want to put themselves first, that don't want to sacrifice for this brotherhood, you understand? All these people, he that loveth his life. You love your life. That's what's that devil? The devil too. Shit. You know, the big mega church devil.
Oh, Joel
Osteen. All these niggas want to be like Joel Osteen, like T.D. Jakes, like Creflo Dollar. And let's leave Joel Osteen out of this. Damn that devil. Let's talk about the niggas.
Right.
The Creflo Dollars and the T.D. Jakes of the world. These cats. Those that love their life. Take that from the top again.
Kettle Khan. He that loveth his life.
Keep going.
Shall lose it.
So do what?
Lose it.
Let me tell you something. All that goddamn money, all them cars, all the clothes, all the hoes.
Right.
All that stuff that you love and you cherish, and you're not willing to sacrifice to raise up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you understand? Guess what's going to happen to it? Read that part again.
He that loveth his life shall lose it.
You're going to lose it. You're going to lose all the stuff that you cherish along with your life. But the people that are sacrificing, go ahead, Ben Gang.
Come. It's like I was going to say, that was such a heavy point you brought out. And a perfect example of that is all the Gadites that decide to sell out in order to ensure that not only themselves survive, but that their tribes can, prosper, knowing that their brothers and sisters are being murdered and raped, tortured, children are being taken and sold across seas as sex slaves. You understand? That's just such a selfish mentality to have as a nation.
Right.
That's all I have to say.
And if I could, speaking on what you're saying with the Gadites, a lot of them sold land that they still had the rights to help get casinos built, thinking that they were going to be the sole proprietors and owners of these casinos.
Right.
And we all know who owns the goddamn casinos now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them so-called white men, them so-called
the Jewish, not the Jewish man, but also like the Italians. You understand? Like, you ever see the movie Goodfellas and all of that? Like, no, you see how they got a hold of them casinos. You get what I'm saying? Like, they end up tricking the Gadites into selling the land to build these so-called casinos and hotels, make millions of dollars and this and that. They let them collect the first wave of money, kicked them out, took it over. You get what I'm saying? And the ones that wouldn't sell, they forced them out. You understand?
Like Wall Street.
Damn right. You get what I'm saying? And it's sad though, because here they are, they actually had land and was able to make, like, you own goddamn Las Vegas. You get what I'm saying? You own this. You can build whatever. And you sell out the land from up underneath your brothers and your sisters' feet to give to the white man.
Right.
And then the white man turns around and forces you out because you loved yourself and you loved your lifestyle. You wanted to be a part of America so goddamn bad. Now look at us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look at us as a nation. Go ahead.
Slovakia. Every place they got every place they got a casino, you know, New Mexico,
right,
California, Oklahoma, red like the wheels.
Right, that's Gadite land. Right. The big major casinos is Gadite land.
Yep. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy what you bringing out, one.
Let's get the rest of that scripture. Then go ahead.
It's like I was gonna say, not only is it the Gadites that did that, but also you gotta remember the biggest sellout of them all, Martin Luther King Jr.
Damn right.
Understand?
Damn right. Damn right. You know, that was his dream to sell out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But in the scriptures, what we about to pull out, we about to show you what happens when you don't give a damn about America, when you are willing to sacrifice. Let's get the rest of that.
And he that keepeth, and he that hated his life in this world.
Hey, hold on. Don't go past that, Kumar. Slow that shit down. Read that again. He to do what?
And he that hated his life in this world.
In this world. Break that word down, world. What does that mean, Kumar?
This destruction that we in, this hell that we in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This America that we so-called living in.
In this world called the white man's world.
Right.
He that hate his life in the white man's world and the white man's rulership.
Right.
Let me tell you something. That's all I see on Facebook is my brothers and sisters who are woke to this shit, who are all about black supremacy, talking about how much they hate it here, how much they hate this place. Listen, you got to be a goddamn slave to love being in America, to want to be a part of this, to want to participate in their feast days. As Madara was saying, they festivities.
All right.
You know what I mean? You got to be a goddamn fool to want to celebrate the 4th of July and Christmas and to take part of the same people that's murdering your brothers and sisters. Keep going on that scripture. Go ahead.
Right. Or any Christian baptism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
I do not associate with that kind. We are not the same kind.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn right we
Shut
are.
up.
And the scripture's going to prove it. What did the Lord say? He that hateth his life in this wicked-ass kingdom, he that hateth his life in captivity, keep going.
And this world shall keep it unto life eternal.
Damn right. He shall keep it unto life eternal. Let me tell you something. The I.S.U.P.K are the next rulers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, tough titty, said the kitty. You understand? We are the next rulers. Understand? We don't give a damn about your feast days. We don't give a damn about none of that. We have sacrificed everything in the white man's kingdom to raise up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, goddammit. You understand? That's what we do. We all about raising up Gad. We all about raising up Ishkarites. We all about raising up Judites. We all about raising up Ephraimites. Not Telly. You understand? Levi, Simeon. You understand?
Right.
Reuben. You name it. That's who we about. Asher. If I forgot a tribe, Salakia. But we love you anyway.
Right.
And that's who we about. Benjamin. God damn it. We all about raising up all 12 tribes. Point blank, period. You understand? We have given up everything to raise up these tribes. Everything. And guess what? That means that we're going to get to keep everything. You understand? The Lord said, he that hateth his life, and hating your life means that you sacrifice everything. You give up the cars, the clothes, the hoes, the weed, the cigarettes. You give it all up. And you start doing the work of the Lord. You understand? You get what Madara Ben Gad and you help raise up Gad. That's what you do. That's how you do it, man. And the Lord said that we're gonna have life eternal, man. We're gonna have life eternal with our Hispanic brothers, with our Gadite brothers, with our Judite brothers. You understand? And that's what the kingdom is all about, man. That's what this work is all about. I didn't mean to, go on Salakia.
You good on this heavy
Such a heavy point.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You understand? Like, that's what it's about. And you can't get that by selling out. You can't get that by being selfish. You can't get that by worried about me. You understand? The brothers in this room, I know for a fact, our lives mean nothing. We don't cover our shit like it's some precious thing. Oh man, me? I gotta look out for me.
Right.
Damn, what Matarad need me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, you about to pull out of one.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? This is not it. This is the part where we sacrifice everything. This is that place. We sacrifice everything and we give it all to the Most High and raising up our brothers, man.
Right.
That's all I want to bring up.
Good.
Good.
You know, such a young officer, man. You know, I needed that. You know, so I need that. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord, that scripture, that's why I put men above you. You know what I'm saying? For that same, you know what I'm saying? That same example. You know what I'm saying? I need brothers like that. You know what I'm saying?
Most High Christ, man. That's what the brotherhood is about. It's a goddamn weapon.
Right.
We can slay anything with that.
Right.
So,
That's it. Damn right.
what was you at, Matthew?
Matthew 5:22.
One.
I say.
You know, mathematical connection scripture. It doesn't matter what scripture you get. Salakia. Hold them up. You know what I'm saying? Got one. Got that one.
Our Most High in Christ.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. But I say unto you.
So this right here is Christ speaking, or as our ancestors knew him as Yahushua.
Right.
Go ahead.
That whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the Jerusalem, of the judgment.
You understand? So whoever sits there and just harbors such foul feelings towards his brother for absolutely nothing, and you're in danger of judgment of the Lord. And that is such a heavy scripture because so many of our people, especially, throughout history, we've just been holding such grudges against one another, leading to really the downfall of our people.
Right.
Saying, because if we didn't hold the grudges that we did as a nation, especially in Central America, South America, and North America, I mean, shoot, we could have damn near still been at war till this day.
Damn right.
If we knew that we were supposed to have some type of brotherhood amongst one another, no matter what, and forgive each other, I mean, what happened to us in the past, it definitely would not have been as bad as it was. It would have been bad as hell, but it wouldn't have been as severe. Go ahead.
That's such a heavy point, other one, because the Christian church is so far with forgiving,
right?
But they hate thy brother,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They want to forgive the oppressor every day, all the time. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to forgive their brother,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
And if I could,
go ahead.
To judge on what Kumar said, that is definitely the Christian spirit. That's why whenever we drop in the truth on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's why whenever we drop in the truth and we calling out the crimes of the so-called oppressor, of the so-called Hamites, of these other heathen nations, when we're talking about their crimes and everything, and the wickedness, especially that the oppressor is doing, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, all the goddamn murder, the first thing that they want to say is, what about black on black crime?
Right.
The reason they always bring that up is because they don't know how to forgive their brothers.
Damn right.
They don't know how to forgive their brothers. That's why the first thing they bring up is, what about black on black crime? They cannot forgive them black people that they see on goddamn TV, First 48 committing all this goddamn murder. But it don't matter how many times an oppressor runs into a school and shoots it up.
Right.
How many times an oppressor runs into a Walmart and shoots it up.
Right.
How many times an oppressor runs into a goddamn music concert and shoots it up.
Right.
A movie theater and shoots it up.
It's like targets an all-black church and shoots
I
up.
was getting to that. No matter how many times they go into an all-black church and shoot it up.
Right.
No matter how many times an oppressor can break into a black person's house and kill them in their own goddamn house, shoot the house up.
Right.
Unarmed black kids For some odd reason, we know how to forgive them.
Right.
We listen. That Botham Jean cat. I just want to give her a hug.
Right.
I just want to give her a hug. You understand? Like, we know how to forgive that goddamn oppressor. After the white man is the only man, when you think about it, truly think about it, Christian. The white man is the only man who's came over here to America killing and has not stopped killing.
Right.
Has not stopped killing. Nobody has more blood on their goddamn hands than the white man.
Right.
And somehow you managed to forget. He's still over there goddamn bombing Iraq and Saudi Arabia and all these other. He's bombing them right now as we speak. He's bombing every goddamn body, killing niggas in the streets in America and bombing other countries.
Right.
And somehow you managed to overlook all of that and ask about what about black on black crime?
Right.
You goddamn traitor.
Right.
That goes to show you the hatred that you have for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That goes to show you what they right now, as we speak, they're on a reservation murdering our Gadite brothers.
Right.
They're taking back the reservations. They say, look, we put you on these reservations. This is your plot. You can stay here, even though we took a whole goddamn country from you.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's like I was gonna say in the borders.
Right.
Outside of Mexico, killing Hispanic brothers.
Right. Oh, got them in cages. They're killing them. They trying to cross over to America, which is rightfully their land. Also.
Right.
You understand? Murdering the crap out of them. Go ahead.
Also, Brazil. It's war in Brazil right now.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right.
It's Honduras.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we turn, the glorious people, 12 tribes of Israel going through it.
Right. And guess who's the progenitor of the Moors?
Damn right.
The white man.
Damn right.
These heathen nations. And nobody never once says anything about it. Instead, when it comes to Brazil, what about black on black crime? When it comes to the reservations, what about black on black crime? When it comes to the ghetto, what about black on black crime? And you know what? Here's the funny part. Every race kills their own. God damn it, how many times have you seen a movie where samurais were chopping each other's heads off?
Right.
I've never heard about what about samurai on samurai crime. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Every other nation kills their own and nobody says a goddamn thing.
Right.
I don't see white school shooters being like, what about white on white crime after they killed a whole goddamn school?
Right.
You understand? Go ahead, big ass. Lucky.
Also, like I was gonna add, and us as a nation gotta realize that all that crime that happens within our own communities is due to the manipulation of the white man.
The oppression.
You understand?
Damn right. And we come together because we refuse to serve the Lord. Because we refuse to follow these goddamn laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
And you don't understand. And you're not supposed to put one commandment above another. But Christ said this. Christ said the first commandment is this, that you love the Lord thy God with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Right. He said that's how you're supposed to love the Most High. And the second is namely on to this. It's just like the first. That's what he said. The second is just like the first. That you love your brother as you would your goddamn self. Right. You understand? So if you wouldn't sell your land, why would you sell your brother's land?
Right.
If you wouldn't murder your brother, why would you murder that your neighbor's brother? Right. If you wouldn't do any wicked thing to your goddamn self, don't do it to another black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. That's what the Lord said. You treat your brother as you would yourself. You treat that black, Hispanic, and Native Indian as you would your goddamn self. And let me tell you something. I'm not about to do nothing wicked to myself. Right. You understand? I'm not about to do a goddamn thing wicked to myself. So why would I do it to my other brothers? That's why we're supposed to make sure that we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. And if we just follow that one, right? You understand? Listen, we're supposed to follow them all. But I'm telling you straight up, if we was just to follow the Brotherhood scriptures, right? Follow the Brotherhood scriptures, we would fix this nation. We don't even have to really worry about the other commandments. We don't have to worry about the eating pork. We don't have to worry about the sleeping with another man's wife. We don't have to worry about the worship of false idols if we just follow the Brotherhood. Because if you treat your brother as you would yourself, you're not about to worship a false idol. You're not right, exactly. You're not about to do any of them other commandments to yourself. So therefore, you're going to protect your brother the same goddamn way as you would yourself. If we just followed that one, we would be good. Right. My fault.
If I could.
Go ahead.
I learned from the brother from St. Louis. Was Captain Garzabar. How he threw away all that pork. You know what I'm saying? Like I never knew a time, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I'm not eating it.
And we can't give it to our people.
Right.
We can't give it to our people.
Right.
You should have kept it and gave it to all the devils, though.
Right. I actually knew that day. Like, oh, damn, man. I cannot give it to my people. No, that's not the wild. I don't care who it is. No, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Because of what the Lord said. You treat your brothers as you would yourself. You get what I'm saying? You would yourself. You're not eating no pork. So you're not about to give it to your brothers to eat the pork. And no matter if they eat goddamn pork. You're not doing it on my watch. You understand? You're not doing it on my watch. And that right there, we would build this nation overnight.
Right.
The white man will wake up like, God damn, man, them niggas is untouchable. You know what I'm saying? They would go to the reservations and see nothing but blacks and Hispanics there with our Gadite brothers. They wouldn't know what to do.
Right.
Oh, they'd be offended.
Right.
Right. Wait till the reservations start building up.
Right.
Niggas taking Gadite wives. My raw wouldn't like it, but you know, who cares?
I go to council over that one.
You know what?
But that's what it's gonna take, though. And that right there, I'm telling you, the Lord will see that, man, and He will make so many goddamn miracles happen for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Once we learn how to come together in this brotherhood, the rest is a cakewalk.
Right.
The rest is a cakewalk. So it's Babylon.
In that book, Kumpar, let me get page 104 and read where it says in Creek culture. Saying what
you say? So
in Creek culture.
Creek culture, kind of one.
It says, so what we're about to get into is we're gonna learn what happens when you sit there and you harbor hatred for your brother without any type of cause.
Right.
Saying, but we're gonna get an understanding about what it is we're about to be reading after this. So go ahead, read the title of that book, who it was written by. Actually, let me see so I can show it. Show the title of it.
Hey, it's lucky. I can come up there if you need me to be.
I mean, yeah, you might as well. Sam, this is the book, The Indian Wars. You understand? Written by Anton Truer. You understand? Where it highlights and talks about all the different conflicts that happened in Central America, as well as up in Canada, South America, with the 12 tribes of Israel and these devils, and how it is they manipulated us, how it is there was conflicts amongst the tribes beforehand, and how it escalated with the devil coming into our lands and promising us goods and whatnot. But what we're about to learn about is the Red Stick War, which was a civil war that was fought amongst, one tribe, one nation of people.
But
go ahead and read that for him.
Khan. A war both sides lost. In Creek culture, red sticks or war clubs represented war.
So in this certain tribe's culture, when these people sat there and brandished some red war clubs, it meant that they were ready for war.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. And white ones represented peace.
And white war clubs meant people were supposed to just come in peace. They didn't want no type of smoke, no conflict. They wanted to resolve issues in order to better their nation. But set that down there for them. In case there's any questions. The water. So now we got an understanding about this. How it is that red war clubs represent war, white war clubs represent peace. There were certain groups within the Creek Nation that carried around these different war clubs to represent themselves. So go ahead and go ahead.
It's funny though, because you said the red war clubs represent war and the white group war clubs represent peace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny though, because they still got war clubs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just white. And also now I see where the white man gets that white flag from. Where they want to try to do the parlay and want to, surrender.
Right.
The white flag. Now we see where it comes from.
Right.
Because like I said, the white man has never had an original thought on his goddamn brain whatsoever.
I was like, like you just learned before class, lacrosse was created by Gadites.
Damn right. And it was a war game.
Right.
Used to set them up for failure to go ahead and take over the enemy base.
Right. Go ahead.
I mean, you learn this, you know what I'm saying, that everything comes from the so-called 12 tribes.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything, man.
Right.
Even food you make.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Only thing the white man know how to make is hot pockets and pieces.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The microwave.
Right.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
We don't even know how to do that.
You know what I'm
so
talking about? Like it. So everything comes from the Lord's chosen people.
Right.
Damn right.
You're saying, but go to page 106 and read the remaining creek. You understand? We're about to see. All right, so what we won't really be going over is what had happened between these red sticks and these white sticks, which basically the red people that were brandishing red war clubs, they were fighting for their people. Right. Fighting against the devil, trying to make sure that their land wasn't taken, trying to make sure their people weren't murdered and stolen. And then you had the white clubs, those brandishing white war clubs who were fighting on the side of our oppressor. You know, saying, who wanted to make sure that no matter what, that he won the battle against their nation.
Right.
But let's go ahead and go ahead.
And if I could, I should have known this, but it you know, it's what I call a suppressed memory.
Mm-hmm.
Because the white man, if there's one thing he's good at, it's making sure that you have suppressed memories, and a lot of stuff don't always register in your brain the way that it should.
Right.
But like when I was looking in that book, there's a lot of Gadite wars, like Gadite wars fought in this state. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
In this area right here, which I think is hardcore.
Come.
But when you think about it, it makes sense because even here we got like the Cleveland Indians, we got the Indiana, the Indianapolis team, the baseball team with the Indians and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The hockey team with the Indians down here, which I never really paid attention to until you start reading that book. And I start seeing how much of the wars was fought here in this state concerning the Gadites. So that lets you know that the Gadites, they would spread every goddamn where, including here in Naptown. Like Naptown was a Gadite goddamn haven.
Right.
Like, they was deep down here with whole armies, scalping and killing. And listen, they wouldn't play no goddamn games, man. Like when we say that this land was truly Native Indian land, it is, because like you wouldn't even think of Naptown to be a hub for Native Indians and how deep they truly was down here. Like it was multiple tribes down here, like a bunch of goddamn tribes here in this state alone.
Right.
Well, lets you know that they was in the middle of, because this is considered the middle. Indiana is considered the crossroads of America. It's the crossroads of America because the white man, being a drug dealer, he sends drugs all through the other states, and this is the hub for it. You get what I'm saying? You want to go to any other state to get there, you got to cross through here. You know what I'm saying? You got to hit this interstate. Unless you just want to take the long way around. You get what I'm saying? Go all the way around. But if not, you want to get there fast, you got to cross through Indiana.
Right.
You got to cross through. And that goes to show you that how deep the Gadites was here in this state. Lets you know if you're in the middle of something, that means you're already spread out to the other corner.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was like it before it was drugs, it was soldiers being sent out from Indiana to help out different tribes.
Right.
You understand?
I just wanted to bring that out so lucky because I was reading that one story that you said. I'm like, damn, man, everything around here is coming straight from Indiana. They said it was more than corn in Indiana. Come find out it was Gadites.
Right. Straight soldiers.
Right, straight soldiers. You understand? I just wanted to bring that out so lucky.
Most High in Christ.
And if a good one, you know what I'm saying, with the Brotherhood loan from the Gadites, you know, the Native Indians would be enough to take these. If you would find the law, statutes, and commandments, be enough to take these goddamn heathens.
Right.
But picture the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We'd be able to take these, you know what I'm saying, these heathens. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't following these law, statutes, and commandments. That's why we were separate, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The guys alone will be able to take these goddamn heathens. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? But we wasn't following these law, statutes, and commandments. Right. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no brotherhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We wasn't following each other. You know what I'm saying? You had some Gadites, you know what I'm saying? How you explain it? You know what I'm saying? Putting away for the so-called devil, the heathens. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, we're about to get into what that lack of brotherhood did for our people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you had Like we said before, you had the red sticks, you had the white sticks.
Right.
White sticks help these devils eventually win this war against the Creek Nation.
Oh, if I could, I'd want. Okay.
Go ahead.
And that one that how you was bringing out about that one brother, I think it was so-called devil, that he was living with the Gadites.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
He was a Spaniard.
Learning their ways.
It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Come. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's like. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna finish?
Come.
Oh, that's all you had?
Come.
All right. Go ahead.
The Greek.
I mean,
Okay. The remaining Greek.
Creek.
What's it like?
Creek.
The remaining Greek had no choice but to sign the Treaty of the Fort Jackson or face annihilation.
You understand? So those that were willing to stand up for their people, to show some type of brotherhood for their nation, and to fight back against these goddamn devils who were ultimately crushed. After that, I mean, the entire nation had no choice but to surrender to our oppressor, you understand,
Right.
to the devil, and to give into his terms, in which case they ended up having to sign the Treaty of Fort Jackson. Go ahead.
Khan. The Greek.
Creek.
Slovakia. I'm tripping. Slovakia. The Greek sold 21 million acres of land.
They sold how much?
21 million acres of land.
Nah. Them white sticks, they was fighting for our oppressor. He let them keep some of that land for themselves.
21 million acres of land.
God damn. See, and that's what your loyalty buys you. You know what I'm saying? Is your land getting stolen from you. 21 acres. It's like 21 million acres at that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's time to kill a nigga. It's a lot. 21 million acres. A nigga gotta die.
Hey.
Like, come on, man. And that's funny, real quick, because before you brought that out, we was just talking about that.
Yeah.
We was just talking about that, the land, and how the Gadites, you know what I'm saying, was selling their goddamn land.
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know what I'm saying, you join with the oppressor. Let me tell you something. Joining with the oppressor, it is never to benefit you.
Right.
He might tell you that you're going to get X, Y, Z out of it. You understand? You're going to get 1, 2, 3. That's what he's telling you. You join with me, you're going to get 1, 2, 3. But what you don't know is that he's going to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's never for your benefit. It's always for his benefit.
Damn right.
Whenever you join to the oppressor, it's not for you. He's going to sell you a hope and a dream and act like it's for you. I don't want nothing. I'm not getting nothing out of this. This is for you. When have you ever known somebody to say that? When have you ever known your goddamn enemy to say that? Right. And this is a prime example of it don't matter how much the oppressor pretends. Like, at the end of the day, you knew what he was plotting on. He was plotting on the land. And here's how he got the land. You kill off the people that own the goddamn land, then you can do what you want to do with it.
Right.
Then you can do what you want to do with it. And then not only did he kill, he didn't even kill us off. He had us killing off each other.
Right.
And then after he done that, guess what this nigga said? I'm 1/16 Cherokee.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then he becomes the same people that he murdered.
Right.
The same people he tricked into murdering each other. The whole goddamn nation of a certain tribe was wiped out, and all of a sudden here come a bunch of Europeans claiming to be that same goddamn tribe.
Right.
So we could get 21 million acres of land.
Right.
You understand? The white man is such a goddamn devil, man.
Right.
Such a heartless, unconsciousless beast.
Right.
Animalistic. Listen, there's not even words in the English language to describe how wicked this dude is, man. How wicked this nation is, man. You understand? And in 2012, and in 2012, for any black, Hispanic, and Native Indian to still be trying to find love and compassion and mercy for these goddamn heathens, he was a goddamn fool, and he's a traitor to your race. He was a traitor just like the traitors we're reading about. So lucky.
Right.
Go ahead, come forward.
Good. I'm French.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? I'm Germany. Slovakia.
Right. That's them. That's the goddamn.
Right. That's our own people out of one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Slovakia.
That's them. That's exactly them. So lucky.
Khan.
Go ahead.
Khan.
20 million acres. of land. So
It's a lot here for good. We just got through talking about brotherhood. Look cat.
The Creek that have the Creek territory, including most of the present day Alabama and much of Georgia.
you understand? So this once proud people, the Creek, lost 21 million acres of land, more than half of their territory. And keep in mind that our brothers were sitting there fighting hand in hand with these devils against their brothers, thinking that, oh, well, shoot, they're going to treat me like their own, that they're going to make us come up, Slakia.
It's lucky.
Go ahead.
None of the Creek was spared in the treaty,
Go ahead.
including the loyal White Stick Creeks who helped defeat the Red Sticks.
No, they had such loyalty to them devils that they allowed for them to keep, a little bit of that land right there.
White Sticks Creeks who helped defeat the Red Sticks.
You understand? Even those that betrayed their brothers still had to suffer at the hands of our oppressor.
Right.
You understand? At the devil. Come. You understand? Still suffered. And that's what happens when you sit there and you try to buy the loyalty of the white man, of our oppressor. You're saying you lose everything. You lose everything that your ancestors have fought for, that they have died for. You understand? That they have suffered for. That's what you end up losing. You're saying if them white sticks would have just sat there and joined hand in hand with their brothers to fight back against them devils, I mean, shoot, they wouldn't have lost them 21 million acres.
Right.
You understand? They could have saved not only lives, they not only could have saved land, they could have saved the future trauma that their people would have been going through.
Right.
You understand? They could have stopped all of that.
Right.
But yet, because we have such a Christian mindset, even then, back when we had our traditional ways of life, I mean, shoot, hey, that buys our loyalty to our oppressor.
Right.
Go ahead.
And if I could, and you can see the effects of that, like you said, right now to this day. Just imagine 21 million acres of land right now, man. Listen, that land where they got passed down, and it wouldn't have decreased, it would have grown.
Right.
You understand? And let me tell you something about the white man, and we all know this to be true. The white man's not selling no land.
Right.
And if he does, he's selling it to another white man. He's selling it to somebody in his family, somebody in his nation. He's going to keep it rotating like that. They make sure that they land as well as their money touches hands and circulates 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. You
Right.
understand?
Right.
And each time it does, it adds to the wealth and stability of their wealth and their nation. You get what I'm saying? And here we are, like this right here is so goddamn saddening, listening to 21 million acres of land just being snatched right up under our goddamn noses.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's like I was going to add, we also got to remember that the white man is able to continue to pass that down through being a selfish bastard.
Right.
Ensuring that only his family gets that wealth from it.
Right.
But when we sit there and we try to be selfish, just like these goddamn devils, trying to make sure that we hold on to whatever it is that we have established, I mean, should we lose everything? 21 million acres.
Right.
Over half of our territory.
Right.
You understand that we have fought battles to gain, that we've had to, do marriages in order to acquire land, do all types of diplomacy in order to get it, all these different type of things that took us so long to do. And in just a short period of time, shoot, hey, the devil took everything.
Right. And if I could,
Go ahead.
my fault, I'll get right to you. And then if I could, then only that, after he does that, then he establishes, right now to this day, he establishes laws and circumvents really just really stealing land right now to this day.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like there's a clip going out, man. I'm gonna share it with you, brothers, man. Where the devil, he got some like basically it's some type of program that they got where they can just literally buy land that you own. Like they have an auction, like a secret auction. Basically, he can buy into your land, get like 20% of your land, and then force you to sell the other 80%.
Mm.
That's how much of a wicked beast that this white man is, man. Like he don't give a damn about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and what we don't have and what we do have. It's all about trying to make him and his kingdom prosper and thrive and superior over everything, man. And he's willing to go through, he's willing to do whatever it takes. If it means genocide, guess what he's going to do? He's going to genocide.
Right.
If it means telling lies, that's like whatever it takes to be successful, that's what he's going to do, man. And as a nation, the one thing that we need to do to stop all that is one simple law, and that's brotherhood.
Right.
Brotherhood will solve all of that. Brotherhood will solve all of that. We will see a devil, we will see a heathen, and we say, man, I can't deal with you like that. You know why? Because you're not black, Hispanic, or Native Indian.
Right.
Understand? When you go to Chinatown, you don't see any blacks, Hispanics, or Native Indians working in there.
Right.
But nobody looks at them any kind of way. You don't look at them and think they're racist. You look at them and you say, what? Man, that's love. That's love. They're looking out for their people. They love their people. But for some odd reason, when it comes to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and when I say this, I strictly mean the U.P.K. Because the I.S.U.P.K is the only people who does this. We are the only people who give a damn about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are the only people who deal with only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If I open up a business and I take a business partner, it's only going to be a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian.
Right.
I'm not about to take a heathen business partner. If a heathen come with me with a business proposal, I'm not. Listen, you can invest, but you'll never be a partner. You will never be able to have any kind of ownership in anything that I have. You can spend your goddamn money here and keep pushing.
Right.
Because that's how they do us, is it not?
Right.
If we only had brotherhood, man, we would come up overnight. Overnight, this kingdom would fall. If overnight we see, listen, just imagine if every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian said, none of us is going to work tomorrow. We seen what that goddamn cop did to that brother. None of us is going to work tomorrow. None of us is spending another goddamn dollar in your kingdom. None of us is doing none of that. Listen, America will crumble overnight.
Right.
White people be kicked. Listen, martial law will be instituted. Believe that. They will institute martial law and kick in your door, and next thing you know, you don't have to worry about going to work anymore because they're going to make concentration camps.
Right.
They're going to find some way to put you to work.
Right.
That's how powerful this brotherhood truly is. Because listen, this kingdom was built off the backs of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. To this day, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make this kingdom thrive. You understand? That 21 million acres that you talked about, that's this state right here.
Right.
You understand? Like, man, this is so sad, man, hearing these goddamn stories a lot. But all this can be solved with brotherhoods. If your brother comes to you and asks for forgiveness, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to forgive your brother.
Right.
You're supposed to forgive your brother. And why do you forgive your brother? You forgive your brother to build this nation. That way, 21 million goddamn acres don't get snatched from you.
Right.
It's lucky. I'm battling on.
How you doing?
Take over his class.
Come
on, man.
That's usually how it goes, Cap. Go ahead, Kumpar.
Dang, they gonna put me up. Now I'll tell you point with the brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, he like pretty much touched on everything, you know what I'm saying? Rich brotherhood, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We gotta separate from these goddamn heathens.
Right. Damn right.
You know? It's the only way we can be a nation. It's the only way we can be free.
Right.
Right. You know?
Lucky. It's just crazy, man. That shit, 21 goddamn million acres. Nigga, we don't even own 1 acre between all of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
damn.
Right.
Like, goddamn, man. Goddamn heathens, man.
Right.
Okay, that's why we gotta pray for the return of the Most High in Christ,
Right.
man. Put these goddamn heathens to death for their atrocities against our Gadite brothers, against our Hispanic brothers, and against our Judite brothers, man, against all the goddamn 12 tribes, man. Every single last one of them, man, has been wronged by the goddamn oppressor, man. Have been wronged by these heathens, man. These other nations come over here and live deliciously off of that 21 million acres that rightfully belongs to the tribe of Gad.
So it's lucky.
To the 12 tribes, period.
I say not only did they take it back then, but even nowadays, they're still taking acres of land.
Right.
Like you can look at Trump's wall.
They want the reservation.
Yeah, he's taking acres of land off of reservations.
Mm-hmm.
He defiled you know, the cemeteries of our ancestors, all so he can erect a wall, knowing damn well that the Hispanics are tunneling under it, climbing over it, and finding ways to slip through the bars in order for them to get into the land. You understand? And yet, us as a nation, we still can't do a damn thing about it.
Right.
Go ahead.
And if I could, that's such a heavy point. That goes to show you how much of a wicked beast the oppressor is, man, and why he needs to be destroyed, why he needs to go into captivity. What kind of man makes you sneak into your own goddamn land?
Right.
You understand? This land rightfully belongs to the 12 tribes of Israel. If anybody is an illegal immigrant, it's the oppressor.
Right.
He is the goddamn illegal immigrant on the face of this planet.
Right.
The African is, the Arab is, the Chinese is, the Korean is. These are the largest groups of goddamn immigrants on the face of the planet.
Right.
Again, still ain't nobody building no goddamn wall to stop them from coming in. You's trying to build a wall to stop the people who are indigenous to this land to come back to their own God. Can you imagine that you're trying to get in your own house and somebody got some wall up telling you that you can't get into your own goddamn house? That's what it's like.
Right.
That's what they're doing. And the white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of.
Right. Good.
And not that we can't do nothing about it. We ain't found these laws, statutes, commandments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need to come together and separate from these goddamn heathens.
Right.
We're going to take over this land.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
They cannot stop us.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once we find these laws, man, with the Lord with you, that one scripture, I'm just paraphrasing with that one scripture where you say the Lord went through battlefield and not one be touched.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's like it.
We went to war and not one man died.
And not one man died.
Right.
Hey, that's us. That's Israel right
Damn
there.
right. Damn right.
You know, all we gotta do is follow these laws, statutes, commandments. That's it.
Right. Like I said.
Clean to each clean to each other.
Right.
Stop clean to the goddamn white man. Stop voting for the goddamn oppressor, slave master above you.
Right.
Right.
Vote for Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
Vote for the Most High.
Right. Salakia. Right.
Like I said, we can stop all this overnight if we just follow one law.
Right.
That's the Brotherhood law. The
Right.
rest of them will fall in order, because if you treat your brother the way you would yourself, you're not about to eat no pork.
Damn right.
You're not about to let nobody else sleep with your wife. You get what I'm saying? You're not about to follow. You're not about to break any of the goddamn laws, statutes, and commandments. And here's the key part to this: even if you didn't understand or know the laws, statutes, and commandments, you wouldn't do it anyway because of what? You would be like integrity would play a part. Integrity would play a part. You would be like, this don't seem right, therefore I'm not going to do it. And that's how you would teach your other brothers. You get what I'm saying? And the Lord said this. The Lord said, I will write the law, statutes, and commandments in their hearts, in their minds. You get what I'm saying? The laws is already written in your minds, even if you never heard of it. You know the difference between right and wrong. You wouldn't do it for the simple fact the Lord has written the laws in your heart. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you treat, like I said, this one right here, this is what Christ said. Christ said, the first one is that we serve the Most High with everything in it, mind, body, soul, and spirit. I'm paraphrasing, and that you love your brother as you would yourself. You're not about to do nothing wicked to yourself. So, I'm not about to sell my 21 million acres to nobody.
Right.
I'm not about to sell my brother. I'm not about to sell it up under my brother's feet. I'm not about to do that, man. Just imagine that goddamn commandment right there being followed. Overnight, we would be in rulership.
Right.
White man will wake up like, what happened? You get what I'm saying? What happened? These niggas stopped coming here buying gas. They don't. These niggas, they ain't messing with us.
Right.
Goddamn right, we ain't. You understand? Like the black people that do got farms and stuff, everybody would have to rotate there and start. Listen, their farms would be the biggest farms. They would have to expand, and then guess what? They would do like they do in Chinatown. They would only hire blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
That's all you can do is hire blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
And then guess what? Then we become ownerships. Then we become farmers and all that. And guess what? Overnight we would have 21 million acres again.
Right. 21
million acres again. Like, man, it's lucky. That book that you're reading is sad. Just go back to the war part. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
There's plenty of that in here.
Yeah.
Like,
go back to the war part. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
Shit.
I say I'm gonna touch on this real quick. Go to
that shit, man. 21 million acres. Jesus Christ.
Shoot, it's worse than that in here.
I know.
But give me Matthew 18 and verse 21.
Khan. Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times.
You know, so this is Peter came to Christ, or as our ancestors knew him, Yahushua.
Right.
And he asked him, hey, Yahushua, Slack, Yadawan, how often should my brother sit there and offend me, sin against me, and I forgive him? Only 7 times? You know, is that a valid number right there?
It's lucky. Okay, if that was the case, none of y'all would be my brothers right now.
Right.
I'm like, I was always doing something messed up. You know what I'm saying? But thank goodness for what Christ about to say next. You understand?
It's like that'd be the entire nation.
Right.
The entire nation would be completely split off into a bunch of different
Right.
sister nations.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. Yahushua said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
So Christ said, no, I don't just forgive that brother 7 times. Forgive him 70 times 7. In other words, forgive that brother an infinite amount of times, because nobody's going to sit there and offend you. What is that? 400 and... My math is out. I'm just gonna say forgive.
But the funny part is, lucky for good.
Go ahead.
That's exactly what Christians do.
Right.
Christians,
right. Yeah, they want
to get an exact number.
Exact number. You understand? They're gonna keep a tally for every offense that you sit there and give them.
Right.
But the crazy thing is, our people have always kept all of these offenses that we've done towards one another, and we keep those to heart.
Right.
You understand? Shoot, our people love to bring out how it is that blacks sat there and hunted Gadites, you know what I'm saying, as the buffalo soldiers, but yet we seem to forget how it was that, you know, once upon a time, us as a nation, more specifically, you know, the I believe it was the Cherokee, sat there and joined arms with the Confederacy and hunted down black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, hunted down slaves. You're saying we joined with those that openly hated our guts in order to kill our brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need to, us as a nation, we need to forget all about what it was that we've done to one another. Because at the end of the day, we still got to sit there and forgive each other. What's your point? Right. You understand? We got to recognize that if we can sit there and forgive those that aren't part of our nation.
Right.
More specifically, our oppressor, the devil, the Bible speaks of.
Damn right.
Even with all the crimes that he's committed against us, we can forgive him for that. We can forgive our brothers for, what, a max 5 years of something they've done to us. You understand? As compared to 400 plus years.
Right.
You're saying even at the time of all this intervention between European powers over in Central and North and South America, I mean, shoot, we still found it in our hearts to forgive these devils.
Right.
So much so that we would join with them in alliances and fight our brothers. You understand? I mean, that just goes to show you that Christian mentality that we have as a people. You got something you want to add, Isaac?
Yeah, if I could. What you're saying is such a heavy point. Because that's how we do as a nation. We tit for tat. Well, the niggas did this, and then the niggas like, well, the guys did this.
Right.
You understand? And at the end of the day, we both wronged each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And at the end of the day, we wronged each other for what? Because we thought we was going to get something, a lick of mercy from the oppressor.
Right.
Who doesn't know what mercy is. You ask the oppressor right now, mercy, he'd be like, mercy? Right. What kind of drink is that? You get what I'm saying? Because he don't have any lick of compassion or mercy or none of that in his goddamn heart. It's not in his nature. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we hunted our Gadite brothers, and our Gadite brothers hunted us.
Right.
They did it vice versa. You understand? Like, as Buffalo Soldiers, they recruited niggas because nobody else, the white man couldn't stop the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
The Indians was tearing the white man up. Right. The white man was like, oh, we don't know what to do with these niggas. They riding horses bareback. They don't even have saddles.
Right.
How do we stop them? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They look at my nigga head. He done took his whole scalp off. I don't know how he survived it. You know what I'm saying? And the only people who had that same mentality, that same spirit, was us, was blacks and Hispanics, because we are the same people.
Right.
We are the same as the Gadites. The reason the white man recruited the Gadites to hunt us is because the white man couldn't catch us. White man like, them niggas is going through the woods. I don't know where to look for them, how to catch them. Where they at? The reason the Gadites can hunt us so good is because we are the same people. We think alike. We do the same stuff. You understand? And when you read the stories and when you see that's why the white man started to pretend to be a Gadite, because the Gadites was training them how to hunt runaway slaves.
Tarzan, Salakia. Tarzan.
Right, that's who the white man truly is. He tries to talk to a goddamn gorilla until the gorilla rips his head off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when it really came to like trying to hunt these slaves down, you couldn't. The white man couldn't keep up with us. Bigger, stronger, faster. If you ever watch sports, which I know we all have, when we watch sports, we don't see any white boy that can compete with a black man. Where's the white LeBron James? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Where's the white Barry Bonds? You get what I'm saying? Even soccer, it don't matter. Soccer, whatever the sport is, we dominate, and there's no white counterpart. And if there is a white counterpart, it's coming to find out at the end of his career, we find out that this nigga was taking every kind of goddamn steroid there was known to man to be able to keep up with a nigga just a little bit.
Right.
You still couldn't beat him. But in order to stand in the shadow, you needed some type of enhancement. Pretty soon in the future sports, they're going to have mechanical enhancements. Niggas really going to have rockets in their arm. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
A white man, because you can't compete with a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. In order to beat a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you need a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and that's why they started to recruit us to fight against each other and to hunt each other and to kill each other, because that was the only way to stop us. That's why when that guy was bringing out the wars, the white man was out the way. He would start the war and then move out the way. He's like that one nigga when we was in school that always instigate the fight, and then as soon as the fight get happening, he's nowhere to be found. That's who the white man is. He will instigate the fight. He's going to make us get so hyped. Yeah, he can't beat you. You're unstoppable. You're the biggest there is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting your head so hyped. You like, yeah, I am that nigga. And then as soon as everything pop off, he's nowhere to be found.
Right.
But then when it's time to collect the rewards, he's there. He's first in line. He's first in line. The devil always the first in the lunch line, huh? You get what I'm saying? Always the first in the lunch line, but ain't never there when it's time to go hunting.
Right.
It's lucky. Motherfucker.
Go ahead.
I just want to bring out that, we quick to forgive the white man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, we can't forgive our own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We want to show remorse for 9/11. You know what I'm saying? We can't forgive our own by the police brutality.
No compassion for our own.
No
like
compassion.
You said, 9/11, everybody feels sorry about 9/11.
This a couple days ago.
Right. Everybody feels sorry about that. Compassionate about that. But then when it comes to us,
he shouldn't have pulled that gun.
Right.
He shouldn't have turned his back.
Right.
Salakia.
He shouldn't have been black.
He shouldn't have been black.
I'll say Salakia. I'm actually have you pull the scripture real quick, Officer Kumfar. Go to Luke 6:31. You understand? And we're gonna be going over the importance of compassion for your people.
Right.
Luke says, right. So you already know I got an example from the good old book. Right.
Damn right. Damn right.
Luke 6:31.
Good.
Good.
Shout out to Prince Charm. Lucky to butcher your name. You know what I'm saying? Tuning in from Austin, Texas. You know what I'm saying?
No sign Christ. Were there any questions on any of those feeds, Officer Isaac?
That's what I'm looking for now.
Come.
Nope, just got a bunch of brothers tuning in. Shout out to all the brothers tuning in. You know what I'm saying?
No sign Christ.
I don't even want to get to mutilating your brothers' names, but water. You know what I'm
Right. Go ahead.
Come. Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, Do ye also to them likewise.
So basically treat your brothers how it is that you would want to be treated yourself. You say, especially nowadays, with all the things that are going on inside of the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian communities. For instance, we like to talk about the killings and incarcerations and the police beatings that happen inside the ghettos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we expect for our brothers to follow what it is that we speak out against, and then we get upset when they don't. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we gotta remember that us as a nation go through all these things together. You know what I'm saying? So we sit there and we speak out against police brutality, incarcerations, and the murders. We should be doing the same thing for our Hispanic and so-called Native Indian brothers. And we should be speaking out against how it is that all of the murders and the mass incarceration of so-called Native Indians is being hidden within the media, and how it is that has to come out. We should be speaking about the ICE facilities along the borders with our Hispanic brothers. And the same thing goes for Native Indian reservations. And like we like to speak out against all of our sisters that have come up missing. You're saying land that has been taken from us. Well, we should be sitting there and speaking out for our brothers. So, because just like all these Gadite sisters are coming up missing in the reservations and in the border towns of the reservations, you don't think the same thing is happening with our so-called Black sisters,
right,
and Hispanic sisters? How does they're also being sold into, this sex trade, sex trafficked,
right,
being made slaves and being murdered, all these different type of things. You know what I'm saying? We go through all of this as a people, and we need to recognize it. You know what I'm saying? We can't just sit there and want for our brother to speak out for us, and yet we ignore the problems going on with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to recognize these things. And that's not just, something that is happening now. That's been happening with our people for so very long. You know what I'm saying? Only focusing on me, when that's not how our people are supposed to be.
Right.
Okay.
You got a couple comments I want to know if you want to address them.
Go ahead.
It says, so I think his name is Pon Shabazz. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but this goes back to when we was talking about the empire crumbling. He said, actually, it will not crumble.
It's like talking about what?
Talking about the empire crumbling. If we come together, how America will fall overnight. So he says this, actually, it will not crumble. Not saying this to troll, but look at where the wealth lies. It is not like any of the three races you spoke of. You get what I'm saying? And then he says this. That being said, there are plenty of poor people in the world that can be employed to fill the jobs quickly. The wealth is now untouchable, and it will take more blood than you have to spare to defeat the mechanized war machine. That's what he says. Now, do you want to address that, or if I could?
I said I'll touch on it a little bit.
Good.
I said I'll give this to you.
Just save me a little bit.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? The wealth does lie with, that top 1%. But who is it that produces that wealth for these devils?
Right.
Blacks put billions of dollars into the U.S. economy. Hispanics and Native Indians put billions of dollars into the U.S. economy. We pull that money out. What happens to these people? You understand? They can't sit there and fund all these different projects. They can't fund their corporations. If Black people pull out, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians pull out of all these different jobs and decide to come together, I mean, obviously these devils aren't going to just sit there and flood in, or else they would have them jobs.
Right.
Because you do know that white people, or these devils, which is what I like to call them, they are chosen over, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to get jobs.
Right.
You understand? So obviously they aren't rushing for it, which for perfect example is look at the agriculture of America.
Right.
After they started locking up our Hispanic brothers, you don't see these devils flocking to go pick tomatoes, to pick peppers,
right?
Do all this hard, and just
manual labor,
back-breaking work. You understand? Which is why America's agriculture is slowly but surely failing.
Right.
Go ahead.
Even when it comes to the farming industry now, these devils is goddamn lazy. They don't do nothing themselves. They have machines to do everything.
Right.
They got machines to milk the cows. They got machines to pick the corn. They got machines to water the goddamn gardens.
Right.
They're not gonna do any of that. And then, if I could,
go ahead.
Like, so he's saying, like, what about, you know, he said the poor people are gonna fill them jobs quickly. The whole point of pulling out as a nation is to pull out as a nation. Guess what? That includes the poor people too.
Right.
Understand? And let me tell you something. As a nation, we don't have to worry about the poor people going to be with the white man, because guess what we're going to do as a nation? We're going to take care of the poor.
Right.
We're going to take care of our brothers and sisters. You missed the whole point of what we was talking about. We're not talking about taking care of the wealthy.
Right.
We're talking about taking care of the goddamn poor.
Hey, Slacky.
Go ahead.
That's all about taking care of the white man. You understand?
Right.
That ain't focused on our people. Because you would obviously know that by pulling out as a nation that we would be cool. But the poor of white society, you understand, them devils, I mean, we know they ain't gonna fill the jobs because they want that welfare check.
Right.
You know, they want the benefits of the government. They want to do everything they can to make that easy money. You understand? And shoot, to them I say, hey, Most High in Christ, go ahead. I want to see your kingdom crumble and fall before my very eyes.
Right.
Go ahead.
And then he talks about the mechanized war machine, and it will take more blood than we have. Let me tell you something. The Most High don't deal with numbers.
Right.
It won't take no blood at all once we learn how to serve these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Go ahead, Moderator. Kill it.
Slacky. I was gonna say, who do you think is the bulk of that fighting force of this war machine?
Right.
You understand? Just look at history. Look at all of the blacks that fought within all these different wars.
Right.
All of the Hispanics and Native Indians. Hell, even back then when we were slaves, we still you understand? Thousands upon thousands of natives died fighting for British and French, Americans, for Germans.
Damn right.
You understand?
Even right now, as you read in the book, to let you know that the brother wasn't listening.
Right.
As you read in the book, it's talking about how the white man is using Gad to fight against Gad.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? He's fighting against him. He's not fighting. He's using us to fight against each other.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, and then here's another thing. Once more, the Lord, you saying all of this, and you taking the Lord completely out the picture.
Right.
This brother right here is taking the Lord completely out the picture. The thing is this: the Lord don't give a damn about they tanks, they airplanes, they drones. The Lord, they go out there and try to fire off that goddamn drone, and the Lord will make it so it explode in their face. The Lord will make it so whoever's about to go fly that drone, as he's walking to that little base, that little canteen shelter thing that they go to sit in and fly the drone, guess what he's going to do? The Lord is going to make his heart explode.
Right.
You understand? That's what kind of power we dealing with here. Go ahead.
I was going to add off of that the Lord don't give a damn about any of that.
Right.
The Gadites was killing these heavily armored modern soldiers that had metal armor and firepower cannons, all this different equipment, with just with tomahawks and blades.
Right.
You understand? The Lord don't give a damn about any of that.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's lucky, and what you bring it out is a heavy point. They was getting their heads beat in, and what they say, oh, we can't handle this. We got to get their own to defeat their own.
Right.
We can't handle these. I mean, listen, let me tell you something. The white man was scared to death when he seen Gad riding up on wild horses with no saddle. Right. The first thing he said, don't think nuts hurt. You know what I'm saying? But you know why they didn't? Because Israel got big cojones. You understand? Warfare.
Right. I say Salaki. You understand? Our oppressor feared more than anything, though, us coming together as a nation.
Right.
You understand? Which is why all these devils that was dwelling in this land for so long that had slaves, and then when Gadites finally started breaking them out and incorporating them into their own culture, their own society, you're saying these devils was sending letters back home begging the government, you understand, the crown to send troops, you understand, send reinforcements to the lands in order to squash that. That just goes to show you the fear that these devils have when we actually join together. And even at the time, they still, of course, decimated us with all these different diseases. You understand, they had superior firepower. all these different things that we shouldn't be able to contend with, the odds stacked against us, but yet the Lord still was with us as a people. You understand? And he made it so that us as a nation was able to, of course, strike fear into the hearts of these devils.
Right.
Go ahead.
And if I could, the only reason we lost any war because the Lord wasn't with us.
Right.
It's not we never lost a war that the Lord was with us.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's,
saying? That's impossible. Shalaki. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? That's not known to man. Shalaki. The only thing was we want to have sex with these goddamn heathens. We want to have interracial marriage. Stuff like that.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we wasn't following these laws, statutes, commandments. Basically,
Right.
we wasn't clean to our own.
Right.
We're clean to all these other nations.
Right.
And you got a question here too, man.
Go ahead.
Prince Charman, it's lucky for mutilating your name, brother. But he asks, is it lawful to do all the things that the oppressor done to us and all the history of their wickedness, or do we teach them as they are our handmaids and servants?
Nah.
You understand? We're supposed to teach them to keep. I mean, because at the end of the day, these nations are going to end up keeping the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? So we can't be out here raping white women and men, molesting children. You understand? The scriptures say not to abhor an Edomite.
Right.
Saying so, don't just sit there and go out and perform hateful acts on these people.
I think he means in the kingdom.
Oh, in the kingdom?
In the kingdom. That's what I think he means, because he said when we possess them for our handmaids and servants. Like, how do we deal with them? Can we deal with them the same way they dealt with us, or do we have to teach them like and raise them up to be righteous? Basically, that's what he's asking.
For good.
You understand? We're supposed to rule over these devils in a righteous way.
Right.
You understand? So we can't just go out and chop off the tip of a devil's foot all because we felt like it. You understand?
Right.
We got to have a reason to do so. It's like, go ahead.
So lucky. And here's the thing, though, soldier. You got a problem with the devil? Just send him to my plantation. I'll be on the outskirts of the kingdom.
I know you're gonna say that.
Lucky. Everything runs smoothly.
Right.
That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sacrifice my place in the kingdom to keep slaves in check, to make sure that you don't have one problem with a goddamn slave. You understand? So lucky.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know I am horrible.
Terrible. Good.
That's
Go
what
ahead,
I gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You're right. I feel you. Go ahead, Kumar.
Kingdom. Like it. Damn.
Forgot.
Hey, it's like if you got to read the question again on the one.
The question is it lawful to do all the things that the oppressor did to us in history of their wickedness, or do we have to teach them, or do we have to teach them as they are handmaids and slaves and servants? Right?
And if I could, you know what I'm saying, I'm just paraphrasing, I got all the other ones here. You know what I'm saying? Well, first of all, we can't, that's like, fake Israelite groups, you know what I'm saying? They're talking about we're going to have concubines. First of all, we don't have sex, interracial marriage. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't going to be having no sex slaves and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're still going to be keeping the law, statutes, commandments. And also, we're going to make sure they keep the law, statutes, commandments. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're going to make sure they all keep the law, statutes, commandments. It don't matter heathens. And there ain't going to be no more wickedness in the law, in the kingdom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't going to be no more eating pork, no rats and none of that. You know what I'm saying? We all keep the law, statutes, commandments. Not they're going to be put to death.
Right.
No matter black, Hispanic, or heathen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Up. You know what I'm saying?
So shout out to, Trooper Melakafi of Yahweh out of Austin camp. You know what I'm saying? Answering the questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, and what the soldiers are saying, both of them, you know what I'm saying? Officer of 1,000 Madara and Officer of 50 Kumpar, what they saying is actually, you know what I'm saying, that's biblical. Like, we got to deal with these devils right. The devil is my brothers.
Damn right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Now, they're going to get dealt with differently. But in my plantation, if you're not Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you do something unlawful, it's death time.
Right.
It's murder, kill time. You understand? Right. Like, that's how I'm going to deal with them. And we're going to set examples like that.
Right.
But when it comes to your brothers in the kingdom and they're doing something wicked or unlawful, we got to deal with them according to the crime.
Right.
And that's what you got higher ranking men for. That's what you're going to have judges for. To go to the judges and say, Salaki, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cam Kapash be in that thing like, Judge Kapash, sir, how should we deal with this crime right here? What you catch him doing? Because this nigga with a Christian cross. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He had a Christian cross. You know what I'm saying? How should we deal with this? And then we take that stewardship and that teachings and the word of them, man, and we deal out justice. But if it's your slave and you catch him with a Christian cross, then yeah, you can chop off a hand. I mean, that's your slave. That's your property. Go ahead, it's lucky.
Go ahead.
That scripture I wanted, what they will not know war no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, straight up, because they're going to be, they're going to be getting it in. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be putting these heathens to death. We're going to be punishing them for everything. You know what I'm saying? They will not know war no more. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's the positive right there. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah, right.
Like, let me get page
Khan one
in the Indian Wars book.
Khan
page
one
71, where it says, I know the what?
We going overtime.
I know, right?
Like, nah, I like you. You know what I'm saying?
Like doing his thing.
You know what I'm talking about? Nah, I like it.
Listen, but I just wanted to touch on something before we get into what happens when you don't treat your brothers how it is that you want to be treated. You understand? When you do wickedness to them, wickedness happens to you. But go ahead.
A comment from a Christian, if I could. This is Pocho Balls. He said, to think your war is against whites only means you have short-sighted your own point of view.
Let's say slacky. You're saying we never said our war was against whites only. You understand? Our wars are against these devils, against Africans, Arabs, Indians, Asians, all of these different heathen nations that hate our goddamn guts.
Damn right.
That's who our war is against.
Damn right.
Good.
To read or doing
slack here,
man. Hey, wars going to Black, Spanish, Native Indian if you ain't following these laws, statutes, commandments. And also, you know, these Chinese, Arabs, so-called African Hamites, South Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you ain't following these laws, statutes, commandments, hey, you should be afraid of coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? You should be afraid of police brutality. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear in these UPK, we follow these laws, statutes, commandments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Us like it.
Go ahead.
And if I could, like he's saying, basically, for our war to only be against whites is short-sighted, and we short-sighted our own point of view. My thing is this. Let me ask you something. You just got through talking about the power structure and all this other stuff. Let me ask you something. Who does the power structure, where is the main focus of the power structure lie with? Does it lie with the Chinese man? Does it lie with the African man? Or does it lie with the white man? Who allows the other nations to come into the Americans and set up shop? For there to be a Chinatown in every major city, who do the Chinamen have to get permission from? When you watch the so-called council and all them, what's it called? When all the nations gather and all that. You get what I'm saying? It mostly be who in there. It be the white man.
Damn right.
Norway, but it's the white man. You see Russia, but it's the white man. You see all these other nations, but it's usually the white man running these nations. You get what I'm saying? So when we say the white man, we not just isolating him out, but we saying that's where the most of the power structure lies.
Right.
It's like not only is our war with these heathen nations, but it's also with this disgusting ways of this world to teach our people that we're not supposed to be following after all these different heathen customs.
Right.
In order to do so, shoot, you gotta be ready to go to war. You understand? Go ahead and read that for me, Slacky. Go ahead and read that for me,
The Fox temporarily allied themselves with the Wisconsin, Dakota.
You understand? So the Fox tribe sat there and caused a temporary alliance with the Wisconsin, Dakota, the tribes in Dakota. These people that they occasionally had smoke with. You understand? But let's see why it is that they made an alliance with them. Go ahead.
To expel the war of refugees, when they became so numerous that they drained critical resources.
You understand? So these two different tribes of Gadites, so-called Native Indians, sat there and stopped warring with each other in order to force their brothers out of their lands. You understand? Those that were running away from the British and the French and all of the death and destruction that they were causing, trying to seek refuge somewhere. You're saying, and these brothers sat there and said, "You ain't coming in these lands." You're saying, even try, hey, we're gonna put you to death. You're saying, but we're about to find out what happens when you don't sit there and treat your brothers how you'd like to be treated. You're saying, because really, these two different tribes should have welcomed their brothers, no matter the cost of whatever resources it is that they were low on. Go to page 103. Oh, Slaki, my bad. 73, my bad. Oh, I was wondering why I was so confused for a minute.
Khan 1.
And read their plight. So right there.
Their plight was so severe that the Dakota was ready to grant the request.
It's saying, so the Fox tribe, which was so destroyed by, I believe it was the French, you understand, off a raging war because they were tired of their land being taken. It's saying, so they sat there and ran to the Dakota, who was they had an alliance with so long ago, in order to force their brothers up out of their territories. You're saying they begged so bad that the Dakota sat there and considered simply taking them into their own tribes in order for this bounty that was on their heads to be lifted.
Right.
Go ahead.
The French leaned heavily on the Dakota.
You're saying the French sat there and told the Dakota, you better not let these savages join your ranks. Do not sit there and allow for them to join in your communities. You understand? We got these bounties on them. We want their heads. We want them wiped off the face of this earth, and you're going to allow it. Go ahead.
And the Fox had to keep running.
You're saying, and of course, the Dakota, not knowing that sense of brotherhood, not knowing that just like they would want to be taken in by any tribe it is that they run to, seeking refuge from these devils, not knowing that they're supposed to be, looking out for their brothers, just like they'd want them tribes to look out for them. They sat there and they gave in to the French. Go ahead.
Come. Later that year, they came to the French and offered to surrender.
Go ahead.
But the French refused the offer and attacked the Fox war refugees.
You know what I'm saying? So even after all that running, all the begging they did to, I think it was like 3 or 4 different tribes, you're saying they had to sit there and go to the French, try to get some type of agreement. And at the end of the day, these same brothers that refused to help out their brothers that were running from French and British conflicts, you're saying eventually, they had the same thing happen to them.
Right.
You're saying that's what happens when you don't sit there and treat your brothers how you'd like to be treated. You do wickedness to your brothers, wickedness is going to happen to you.
Right.
You got something you want to add, Kumar?
Like, I forgot.
Go ahead.
You got a couple of comments here by Poncho Balls, if you want to take them.
Go ahead.
All right. So he says this. Poncho Balls said this is after the white man comment. Okay. So he says, let me make sure I pick up where I need to. It says, in the event of herd insurrection, you will find the elite flee large urban centers like New York, Baltimore. They will bomb those areas. The rural farmlands will be left untouched as the population is smaller. Those that contest the machine will die by the machine, no matter what race. That's what he says. Those are all his comments.
I got a question.
What did the elite plan on doing about the coronavirus?
Right.
Talking all this stuff they got planned and stuff, but what are they doing about them houses getting burned down north?
California are the one.
Right.
To rock here.
Right.
That's
Right.
I can't already handle it.
Listen, if
Go
I
ahead.
could, because you pulled Jeremiah 16:16.
Only if I
You
could.
understand? Jeremiah 16:16. Just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So what he's saying is basically he's thinking once more. I hear you. I see your questions. I see your comments. But you know what you're leaving out of all these comments? You leave. Go ahead.
The Most High.
The Most
High.
Damn right. You leave the Most High out of all of this. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's the X factor. You understand? You ever play a goddamn video game and you get that power, that boost up, that power up? That's the Most High. You understand? You leaving him out of all of this. He has the last say so in everything. It don't matter where they flee. We know they're gonna flee. We know they got underground bunkers. We know about the Magneto Leviton rails that they state to state in. Listen, before we was men of the Lord, we was conspiracy theorists too. You get what I'm saying? But we understand one thing, that it don't matter how much a conspiracy theorist you are and all of that, what matters is the work of the Lord. You understand? And let me tell you something, that same machine that you're talking about is going to be put to dust by the Lord. You understand? It don't matter what the white man wants to do, and that's what we got to get out of our goddamn heads. That right there, you so worried about the power of the white man. More powerful than the white man. The Lord is.
Right.
You understand? You got that scripture? Go ahead.
Oh, hey, if I could get the scripture, but again, but the Father we fear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't give a damn about what the white man trying to do. We care about what the Lord trying to do. And let me show you what the Lord said. These ain't my words. These are the words of the Lord. Jeremiah 16:16.
Come.
Jeremiah 16:16. You understand? At the end of the day, it don't matter how many cities they flee. Them farmlands that you think is gonna be untouched, guess what? Them is going up in flames too. It's going up in flames. So God is gonna make it happen. Let's get that scripture.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16.
Go ahead.
Behold, I will send for many fishers.
That's what we doing now, brother. We trying to listen. I think you're an Israelite, brother. I hope you are. You know what I'm saying? I'd be highly upset if I found out you're a heathen. You understand? Right. But I think you one of us. I think you wanted to tell 12 tribes. You understand? We here to fish you out. We here to get that mindset of what about the white man out your head. The white man don't matter in this equation.
Right.
The only thing that matters is the Lord and blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are here to fish you out of the world and to fish you out of Christianity.
When you're done.
I'm done.
Oh, go ahead.
Only if I could. I want to say, I don't know if I'm wrong, just paraphrasing, but I want to say the Lord said that they let them know to prepare for war. We let them hear it to prepare for war. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm right or wrong with that one.
No, listen. They know what time it is.
Right.
They know what time it is. That's why they got the space program. That's why they got all that stuff.
Right.
That's how this brother right here knows about the underground bunkers and what's going to happen once the people become awake and blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians come together. Of course, they're going to flee the goddamn cities. They're going to fear for their lives. Right now, they fear for their lives. They're like, what if black people ever wake up to the atrocities that we've committed?
Right.
You understand? I think every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is going to murder them. Right. That's what they think. But we're not worried about that because we serve the Lord. And the Lord said, vengeance is whose? His. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. That's what he said. We don't have to get you. The Lord is going to get you. Let's get that scripture.
Like,
first he will send for many fishers. That's what this class is all about. This class is to wake up Gad. This class is to wake up Ishkarites. This class is to wake up Judites. You understand? This class is to wake up Benjamites, the Asherites. You know what I'm saying? The Ephraimites.
12 tribes of Israel.
The 12 tribes of Israel. That's what this class is for. We fishing. We got the hooks out. We got the, listen, this truth is the bait, and they biting. You understand?
Right.
They biting. The truth is growing more now than ever.
Right.
They biting. You understand? Keep going.
Come, said the Lord, and they shall fish them.
Damn right. That's what we doing now. Fishing. Keep going.
And after will I send for many hunters.
He's going to do what?
Hunters.
He's going to send for many hunters. After we done waking up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, when the Most High Christ return, then it's time to hunt. That's where a nigga like me gonna shine. You understand? That's when Azar Oriya becomes. They're like, that's what that nigga came into the truth for. Look at him, yo. We gonna get them new bodies, man. We look, it's on. You understand? It's on. You better hope the Lord don't give me no Incredible Hulk like powers, because I'm jumping from state to state killing devils. And doing that, this is what I'm gonna be doing. Read the rest.
Concur. And then show up them from every mountain.
They will do what to them?
Hunt them from every mountain.
From every mountain. Listen, we know about the bug out spots in the mountain. We've seen them Terminator movies. We've seen all the movies. The white man doubled himself with all the movies. He let you know that he got the places in the mountain. We've watched Doomsday Preppers on Netflix. We know that they got little holes in the ground trying to hide. We know this, man. Let's get some more.
And from every hill and out of the hills of the rock. And from every hill of the rock.
And from out of what?
Every hill from the rock.
Go ahead.
Verse 17.
No, read that. Every hole.
Come.
Start it there. Every hole.
And from every hole. And out of Salakia. And from every hill. And out of the hole of the rock.
Out of the hole of the rocks. Listen, it don't matter about the elite that you just said that's going to flee New York City, and then they're going to bomb New York City, and then they're going to leave the farmlands untouched. Let me ask you something. If they flee New York City, if they flee the big city, where's the natural spot that they're going to run to? The goddamn farmland. Where do you think we're going? To the goddamn farmland. And what do you think we're going to do? Scorched earth. That's what we're going to do. We're going to use the same goddamn tactics that they used on us, on them. We're going to dig them up out the holes, up out their bunkers. There's no word that the white man or the other heathen nations can run or hide, and I'm going to prove it. Get the rest of that.
Come.
Bring out your point.
Oh, just like they could, hey, Shalak, if I could, just like the coronavirus, they couldn't run to no bunker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter where you was at.
The bunker's affected.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Get the rest of it. Tell me why it doesn't matter. What is the Lord going to do? Keep going.
Verse 17, for my eyes are upon all the ways that are not hid from my face, neither is there iniquities.
Neither is there who?
There's iniquities.
Going?
Hid from my eyes.
Listen, neither is there sins hid from the Most High eye.
Oh!
They are going to pay for their crimes against God.
Right.
They're going to pay for their crimes against the Israelites.
Right.
They're going to pay for their crimes against blacks, against the tribe of Judah.
Right.
They're going to pay for every goddamn thing that they have done on the face of planet Earth. And it don't matter where it don't matter what city they flee from. It don't matter where they flee to, because he's going to send for many hunters.
Right.
You ever seen X-Men, Wolverine? That's going to be me. I'm the best there is at what I do. And what I do ain't pretty. You understand?
Right.
It's going down. So you need to quit worrying about what the white man got and worry about what the 12 tribes of Israel got. Worry about what the Most High in Christ got.
Oh!
That's what you need to worry about. Go ahead,
I'll
buddy,
say
man.
Salaki, and if I could, you understand, the 12 tribes of Israel are the greatest hunters on the face of the
That's
earth.
right.
You understand? I wanted to bring out just an example of Gad.
Damn right. Damn right. Bring it out, mighty man.
Yes, just to show you that no matter what it is that our oppressor throws at us, Gad, it's like the 12 tribes are truly the best tacticians. You understand? The most superb of survivors in any type of situation.
Right.
You understand?
You can say, Gad, we all share the same blood, nigga.
Right. Yes,
We all, like, if I could, we all speak up for our own tribes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's just that's the nigga in us. Salaki.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we all share the same blood.
You know what I'm saying?
I said it before, I say it again. It was a point in time we knew that.
Right.
That's what we're trying to get back to. You can't be black or Hispanic without being Indian. You can't be Indian without being black or Hispanic.
Right.
We are the same people. We look at what we're going through. We're going through the same oppression.
Goddamn right.
Go ahead, bring it up, mighty man.
Listen, this is on page 109, Showdown at Fort Ripley. You understand? And one thing we got to remember.
Like it's about to be some smoke involved in this.
One thing we got to remember is no matter how much we like to sit there and claim our ancestors were just so peaceful, this and that and the third, we got to remember our ancestors were about that warfare.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We were able to outsmart those that were raised since birth to be military geniuses.
Right.
And we didn't even go to any military schools, you understand?
Right.
You understand? But it starts out, Hole in the Day was ready to match wits. You understand? But so Hole in the Day was an Ojibwe chief, you understand, who was going up against U.S. forces, you understand, trying to sustain the way of life for his people.
Right.
And what we're about to get into is that there was a military commander, William P. Dole, that had invited Hole Day and the Ojibwe tribe and their leaders to a basically peace conference. Told them not to bring any weapons, none of that. And they do the same, and they'd be cool.
So leave your guns at home. No,
Right.
No need for
You understand?
that.
But our people being as intelligent as we already knew better.
Right.
Because back then we knew that the white man was the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Right. He showed up at the conference with 100 loyal Ojibwe warriors and lined them up facing the U.S. troops. Dole demanded that Hole in the Day surrender. The army captain chirped that the chief better do so, or he would be blown to hell in 5 minutes.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Good. So it was the Gadite chief that said he better surrender?
No, Hole in the Day is the chief.
Okay, so
it's
it
the
was
leader.
The other dude that said
so
he
it
better
was,
surrender.
So it was the commander of the U.S. Army that was basically telling him, oh, well, we got 125 men, you got 100. You better surrender or we're just going to blow you to hell with cannons.
In 5 minutes.
Yeah, our firepower, all that, and it'll be done within 5 minutes.
White man is the devil.
Right. It's in talking all that smack.
I thought it was a peaceful get together.
Right. It says, Hole in the Day motioned with his hands, and another 100 Ojibwe warriors appeared behind the U.S. troop deployment, surrounding the soldiers and outnumbering them 2-1.
Let's clap that up, man.
Right.
Let's clap that up for never trusting that goddamn enemy.
Right.
You understand? That right there, if I could, Salaki.
Go ahead.
That right there is a perfect scripture of when you follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Because that Gadite chief knew never to trust thy enemy, which is what the Lord said. You understand? The most High in Christ said, never trust thy enemy. They said, we want to have a peaceful negotiation. He showed up. He said, show up. Come on. Come unarmed. He came with his soldiers armed because he was smart. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the heathen, the devil, got 125 men, got cannons and guns saying surrender or else we're going to kill you. He motioned with his hands. He was probably like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bring him out. Hey,
right.
hey, you.
Hey, Slaggy.
Hit him with the, what are you? You know what I'm saying?
Knowing how we knew our culture, he's probably just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Gave that that holy kiss. You understand?
Don't
God.
So they came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Just popped up.
And that's because that is a law, a statute, and a commandment of the Lord. Never trust thy enemy.
Right.
Never trust thy enemy. That's what he did, and that's how them Gadites survived.
Right.
You understand? That's how they survived that confrontation right there. Because if he would have believed that goddamn heathen, he would have blew him to hell, like he said, in 5 minutes. But instead, he knew better than to trust his goddamn enemy. What the Gadites used to call him, pale face who speak with forked tongue.
Right.
You understand? He knew pale face who speak with forked tongue. That's a shirt. You know what I'm saying? We got
you just gave away an idea, Officer Isaiah.
That's okay. They got to get it approved. I'm gonna go ahead and get that.
I'll say
nobody big watches this story.
Hey. So with that, I'm gonna hand the class over to Precinct Officer of 50, Kwamapar.
All right, clap that up.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. Where the I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, grew up a new brother and sister. Where a new brother or sister comes
into the school, they are planted for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to marry. Also, like from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Then there is another 6 months, and the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 through 21. Malachi 3:8 through 10 means tenth in Hebrew. Mashariah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher priest fund. Free will offering for preach, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation, which is the Passover still to be announced, but on Thursday, someone say September 17th, we got the blowing of the trumpets. Make sure you bring your family, you know what I'm saying? Bring your family, brothers and sisters, kids. We're going to get it in.
All right. If I could.
Khan.
All of Israel is invited. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and let me rephrase that so you understand it, these simple ones. If your father is Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you are invited to this school here on 10th Street.
Hey!
2630 East 10th Street, you understand? And this will be held Thursday. So, like, what time? 7 p.m. Just making sure. Just wanted to make sure on this. So it's like 7 p.m. Thursday.
Right.
And if you are in the world, just simply bring like some chips, a pop, bring some food if you can. But you know what I'm saying? I understand niggas is messed up. I almost dropped the F-bombs a lot. Niggas is messed up and don't have a lot of money. But if you can bring a bag of chips, a pop, some ice, a cake, you get what I'm saying? Bring what you can. But even if you can't, show up. Bring Brotherhood if you can't bring nothing. Bring your goddamn Brotherhood, man. Let's celebrate the Lord's High Holy Day, man. A Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian High Holy Day. Let's celebrate that in the name of the Most High in Christ and do it the right way. So every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is invited to 2630 East 10th Street to this school to celebrate the Lord's feast day, the blowing of the trumpets. So go ahead.
Come. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, skirt, and with that, imagine, which means to rise, and put rock with them, which means turn face to east.
Fun guy.
He's just gonna read it.
The Lord prayed in Hebrew. Abinau, Rasamai, Shabbasamai, Dash, with Dash, I.S.U.P.K, in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be. Have mercy. I got the prayer in the Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yoshua.
Bashim Yoshua.
Babakashah. Nathamino.
Nathamino.
Hakat.
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 Lala Baal.
Lala Baal.
Karmakalam.
Karmakalam.
Karma the world.
Karma the world.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Let the heart.
Let the heart.
Hamatazarayim.
Hamatazarayim.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Hamatazarayim.
Hakat.
Hamatazarayim.
Hamatazarayim.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Ayakawah.
Ayakawah.
Hamatamalu.
Hamatamalu.
The good son.
The good son.
Bashim.
Bashim. Yoshua.
Duwadaman.
Duwadaman.
And English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yoshua.
In the name of Yoshua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power is.
The power is.
All men of sickness.
All men of sickness.
All men of disease.
All men of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
Against unclean spirit.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yoshua.
In the name of Yoshua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Slacky. Blessed in Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Why y'all share?
Yahweh.
Why y'all
Yahweh.
I will walk your hand.
I will walk your hand.
I will walk you.
I will walk you.
I shall raise you.
I will run you.
How quick is I get you?
How quick is I get you?
How can you get you?
How can I hear you?
How quick you?
How quick you?
Yahweh. In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yoshua. And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angel.
And the angel.
Commanding General Yohanna.
Commanding General Yohanna.
The general.
The general.
The captain.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers. And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Man, Yoshua.
In the name of Yoshua.
Thank you. Thank you. So be it.
So be it.
Sir, was me trying to pass the teacher. Man, the Israel. A man should Salakia. Cause salute to the brothers.
First, salute to the teacher.
Salakia. Cause salute to the teacher. Man, the Israel. Man, Shabbat. A man, Barak.
Yehovah Hashem Yahshua.
That's my time. Cause salute to the sister West Online. Man of Israel. Man, Shabbat. Imagine, all right? Catch it. That's my time. Catch this mess.
That's right.
Hardcore fucking class.
That's right.
Yeah, I know, right?